Alright, welcome back everyone for something a little bit different today. We received the BL-X-KNT Red Reaper from a game world recently, and given the name of the channel, BL7KNT or Black Knight Gaming, I felt morally obligated to build this mech out. We have been looking for a suitable replacement to the Axeman for a little while, and going up in tonnage, going up in armor eventually, and having a bit of a different style to it could be pretty fun. I do have a couple other surprises for you guys the next mission that we play, but we'll have to wait around and see that then. Let's go ahead and start refitting. So, here we are, and just right off the bat, I should say I really do not like this configuration one bit. Too little armor for a mech that's supposed to close to melee, too little movement for a mech that's supposed to close to melee. Remember, if we're not within our move distance, we can't swing. We'll have to do a charge, so 4-7 is pretty slow. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pull off that PPC and PPC capacitor. We're going to yank out these double heat sinks as well, rip off the medium X pulses. They're good weapons, don't get me wrong, but the 330 max range, I mean, it was supposed to pair well with the heavy PPC. You have a heavy PPC at long, medium X pulse at short, but I don't like it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a clan double heatsink kit, and then we're going to go over to our internals, and we're going to put in, let's see if we can get away with Ultra Pharaoh and increase our armor. Quite a few reserve slots here. That could be a problem. We do have Clan Pharaoh as well. Not as much of an armor weight change, because this does do minus 20%, and the Clan Pharaoh only does minus 11%, but it's half as many dynamic slots reserved, which could come in handy. We'll have to see what we can do. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to our cores, and we're going to put in a core 345, and the reason is we were moving at 4.7, now we're moving at 5.8. If I put in a 320, we're still moving, I believe, at 4.7, and I hate it when it does that. If we move in the core 350, we're still moving at 5.8, so 345 is a little bit lighter. If I had a core 340, I'd probably give it a shot. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head if that would do the trick, but this is the best weight that we're going to have for that right now. We're also going to put in a Clan XL engine, and the reason for this is melee mechs with XL engines seem like a nice way to die, right? Because you get a little bit overconfident with your swing. You get focused by, I don't know, anywhere between 6 and 8 mechs before you get to move again. And the odds that they chew through one of your arms and torsos before the other is pretty high. So this way we'll be able to survive that and, eject if we have to, should it be that dire of a situation. So we're going to come over here now to equip, and we're going to drop in a supercharger, and I'll show you why. Right now we're moving at 5.8. Remember what I said, though, about needing to close at walking distance for melee. Put in the supercharger, moving at 7.8. Very, very nice. We could put in a larger engine here, move at, say, 8.9, but we'll be sacrificing a lot of free tonnage because the large vibroblade does weigh 7 tons, the large shield does weigh 6 tons, and that's a lot of the free tonnage on this chassis already used up. So what are we going to do now? Well, we need some sort of armament on here, and it's going to be, well, my favorite set, I have to say, is just a bunch of ER mediums, clan ER mediums, and the reason why is because this mech is not really made for anything like missile boats or ballistics. We have 0 missile or ballistic hardpoints. We have 2 support hardpoints, and in those, just to try this, let's try to put in, ER small lasers could be pretty good. Yeah, let's do it. And this is just to get that little bit heavier close range punch when we're in melee, trying to, do as much damage as we can to whatever we expose with that large vibroblade, right? So the more shots we have, the better. We get twice as many shots of the tonnage with ER smalls as we do with ER mediums, and we do want to fill up both of those support slots as best we can. So heat efficiency, now Alpha Strike is 119, heat sinking is 72. Some of that's from the supercharger, which does increase our weapon heat by 15%. So if we looked right now at this, each one of these does 170, so have 5, you would expect, 170 over 2. Well, you'd expect 85 heat from that, and you'd expect an additional 18 heat from these. So that's what? So 107? No. 85 plus 18. Well, yeah, 103. So you'd expect 103. We're instead getting 119. That's because of the supercharger. We could put in something like an exchanger, or even an exchanger double plus to knock that out. But that's 4 tons for minus 20% weapon heat generated, so that would be 4 tons for effectively minus 22. And right now, 4 tons of clan double heat sinks will get us minus 24. So we get better work off of the double heat sinks. It's tempting oftentimes to just throw as many exchangers as you can on mechs. It's not always the best answer. So we'll put 2 of those in the legs for right now. Take a look at that. 84, 119. We need to cool off even more. But there are some other things that are more important at the moment. Chief among them being defense gyro. The stability damage resistance is very, very important. +1 defense against being hit is also very nice. And we're going to try to stack those as much as we can here. So, let's see. Pardon me. Let's put in a clan active probe. May as well. There might be times where we have some benefit to using that active probe. The increased sight and sensor range, well, yeah, let's not put that in there. What I really want is clan ECM, if I have any, and I don't appear to have any clan ECM left. The Guardian ECM, clan mask, C3I, well, let's see if we can narrow this down. Here it is. Right, so I unfortunately don't have clan Guardian ECM left. It's going to be a little bit awkward with our tonnage there, but let's go ahead and put in a regular one. And, what else can we do here? So, we can't put in a mask. We don't really benefit. We're not going to be kicking with this, right? We don't want to be kicking when we have a large fiber blade. That's a better melee weapon than we'll have off the kick. We could put in something like a strafing run just to, have it be a little bit entertaining, but I think instead, let's look through our internals. There are some better equipment pieces that we could be using. It's just a matter of if we have them, which appears to be no at the moment. So I think that'll do with Guardian ECM in there as well. Leaves us a bit of an awkward spot, 4.562 tons. Much rather, have that be 4 tons or 5 tons. At this point, we don't need an FCS Apollo, we don't really need an FCS Artemis 4 or an advanced TC. The breaching shot doesn't really get us anything, right? Because if we're swinging the vibroblade, we're shooting as much as we can of our lasers, so we're not really going to be doing a big single hit with something like this. So let's just go back to internals and see what we can do with getting our cooling up. Let's see. Put in some more double heat sinks down to 2.5 tons remaining. It's still a little bit hot, but not terribly so. If we put in one more, now we're looking at 119 on the Alpha Strike, 102 heat sinking. That's pretty fine. I'd say that means we can turn off the ER smalls if we get a little bit too hot, or we can turn off one of the ER mediums if we get a little bit too hot, and we'll stay relatively neutral unless it's on a hot biome. But much higher than that, and I think we'd be a little bit overcooled. So let's see what we can fit in with the additional 1.5 tons. The first thing I'm thinking is maybe we can trade in one of the ER smalls for something a little bit more capable. So if we take a look through our support weapons, ooh, an AMS would be nice. AMS would be very nice. Yeah, because this guy could be drawing a fair amount of fire. We don't really have much AMS on our mechs currently, but I only have 2 slots. I have to replace one, and I'd have to put in the ammunition for AMS, which is a whole ton, so that doesn't really help our problem here. Let's go back to support. The C3 Master, we have another one in the Lance, I believe, at the moment. Yeah, this is a little bit... This is a little bit interesting. I'm not quite sure what to put in there. We could put in maybe a small pulse. Yeah, that could be pretty good. Yeah, so let's rip that out. Let's put in a clan small pulse. Now we're down to 1 ton remaining. And we could just throw in another heat sink, is what I'm thinking. On the other hand, oh, I don't have any more clan ER mediums. I always run out of these things. I love them to pieces, but yeah, I do tend to run out of them because I do enjoy putting those on the mechs so much. We could put in another ER medium laser. It's going to be, I guess, on that torso. And this, so that 133 on the Alpha Strike includes the ER small and the small pulse, which is a total of, what, 6 plus 9, that would be 15. So if we fire all the ER mediums, all 6 of them now, we are generating a little bit of heat, unless it's on a cold planet, but I think that's fine. I think that's a better option than putting in another double heat sink at this point. I do want to switch that out with the clan one at some point, but honestly the +1 accuracy is, there could be worse things. So this is going to take us 2.6 million C-bills to pull off, and most of that's because of the XL engine clan switch from the regular XL, but I do think that's pretty much necessary, and this is, I would say, a much more capable build. Not only have we nominally increased our damage output, because the PVC is not necessarily the most weight efficient in terms of long-range punch, we've also worked out the PPC, which was additional weight there as well, although I don't think the damage was tracked with what these will display. We've increased our durability quite a bit. Our movement has gone from 4.7 to 7.8. We have no jump, but we don't really need a jump on this mech. He's supposed to walk up and punch you. So besides, we have something else for jumping around as well. And I'll go ahead and click validate on this, and then we'll show you that briefly as well. Logged and noted. Alright, so the other thing that we have that's a little bit new, I'm trying to build a bit more of a fast-paced lance here, just to give it a try. It's a very different style from my usual, which is sort of a combined arms approach to having a big gun line in the back, but then also having a couple mechs that go up and move and groove and shoot from there. And we'll still have some of the gun line in the back. We still have the Jaeger Mech 2. We'll still have that Titan, which I think will be very effective for sort of taking the occasional precision shot and just coring someone out completely. We still do have the Atlas as well, because it is important to bring that heavy armor, but we also have a Griffin 2NX Super Griffin, which is a bit of a, not apocryphal, but I guess made potentially initially when the rules for mech building were a little bit different, and this guy is very strange. So 1245 armor, pretty good heat efficiency, and decent alpha striking potential. That's made out of, I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 ER mediums, clan ER mediums again, see why I always run out, 3 streak SRM 6s, and because of this mech's inbuilt quirks, it has these prototype improved jump jets. So if you take a look at our movement here, we can actually jump 8 hexes, which is farther than we can walk. It's also farther than we can sprint. So this mech is going to be hopping and hopping and hopping all over the place. Hopefully this will include into the rear arcs of his opponent for a nice alpha strike. So we have him, highly mobile, hopefully highly effective. We have the Evan Jaguar, highly mobile, hopefully highly effective. And we also do have this Gunslinger, which I know what you're thinking. This is an 85-ton assault mech. How is this fast? Right, well, it moves at 7.8. And how do we get away with that? Well, we had to put in a 400 rated core on this guy. Core 400, an XL engine, and a supercharger, which I really should replace that with a Clan XL, because that's a little bit terrifying. This guy is basically a replacement for our Axeman. Granted, no axe, but if we look at the actual loadout here, we have the Ultra AC-20, and we have the Quad ER Medium that we had on the Axeman. The trade-off is that we get a lot more armor. So that Axeman was getting a little bit poked to shreds some of the earlier missions, and I think just a bit more mobility would have fixed that. Plus, I mean, look, that thing looks pretty cool. We have the Ultra AC-20 in that right arm, and I've never seen a configuration like that with the ER mediums in, I guess, elevated side torsos, but that looks pretty cool. This thing also does have the Gunslinger cowl, which prevents pilots bleeding out and adds 15 armor to the head. So this is perfect for a mech that wants to get up close and personal, might get hit from a death from above, probably be drawing more fire than some of our other mechs in this lance as well. So I really look forward to showing that to you guys here real soon. And just while it's on my mind, even though it will cost an absolute fortune to do this, yeah, Clan XL, 2.5 million C-bills for the pleasure of it, but let's go ahead and get that done. There we go. Alright, so we'll be back here with another mission probably tomorrow, unless I put this up on a Friday, in which case it'll be the next Monday. Thank you guys, and we'll see you again real soon.